I'm the pool guy today, taking a break from the garden. We have a gunite pool here, which is sanitized by a salt system, and I'm going to show you that in a few minutes. And the reason why I'm doing that is that I'm taking care of my pool myself. I fired the pool guys who seem to know less about pools than me. It seems to be fairly simple, except when you get down to some of the water chemistry. Anyway, I've been able to manage it very well for several years. I'm not a natural pool guy because we just bought the house and there happened to be a pool here. But having got one, we need to take care of it. And if you don't, you might end up with some expensive work replacing the gunite if the pH is off. So, obviously, you have to skim it. That's the simplest thing each day. Every morning, and especially after storms, just skimming off the needles from the pine trees above, any sticks and stones that fall in the bottom, any dead animals that end up in the pool. And we've had snakes, we've had box turtles called tortoises in the European Union, and a few other creatures too. Anyway, skimming by hand and also automatic down here. Check the trap every day. I have a weight in there to make sure this doesn't pop out when the pressure changes and the pump switches off. And my best friend is over here. I want to introduce you to Flipper, the pool cleaner. It's got a filter inside, electrically operated, and we just toss him in. I want to show you how we sanitize and check the chemistry of the pool. This is the equipment that I have, not really very complicated. First of all, a thermometer. Today's reading was 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Last week it was 92, a bit too warm. Anyway, that's not so important except for the bather. What is most important is the pH, and I'm going to show you how to measure the pH in a moment using this titration system. Many people just use the little dipsticks. Just dip it in the water and check the color chart, and it tells you if you've got enough chlorine there, it should be purple. What the pH is, it should be orange to red, and also the total alkalinity. Well, I check the alkalinity with these little tubes using a titration system by taking a sample of water. Total alkalinity is really the buffering capacity, how much capacity there is in the chemistry to keep the pH in the desired range. So what about the pH? Well, I'm going to measure that in a moment. And we're using phenol red. It's just a little dye, red dye, and changes color with pH, as you will see. Lastly, there is the salt concentration. Well, I've tried various different systems. I've tried dipsticks, I've tried titration systems, and eventually, for about $25, I bought this conductivity meter. This is the perfect tool. Let's go and see how it works. Turn the conductivity meter on and make sure that it's reading in parts per million, reading 0 of course at the moment, and I just agitate it in the water for maybe 10-20 seconds, something like that. And I can press a button to hold it and then read it. I aim for about 280 to 310 ppm, and that's just about what the manufacturers recommend. And if it's too low, I'll show you what we do. I'm going to measure the pH of the water now. I fill this chamber with 45 mils and then add 5 drops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of phenol red. Shake it about. On the left side of the chamber is a graduated indication of pHs from 7 to 8, and I hold it up to compare the colours in the columns. Wow, pH is between 7.8 and 8. That's a bit high, so I've got to add some acid to correct it. So this is the 24-hour timer. This is the salt meter, which displays the concentration of the sodium, although I don't trust this meter and I measure it separately, as I say otherwise. This is the salt sensor, and this is the valve that controls the direction in which flow occurs, with a little meter beside it. Turned off the power. Now onto backwash.